That was a wonderful short speech by Mrs. Williams. All right, at this junction now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are going to. And there's a golden rule is that make sure you jot something down. And after this, you are going to ask questions. And these questions are teachers. I'm expecting 3 questions from here. Then for the students, because of our time, I just need 3 questions. So I'll come to your table or just get set. Make sure if you don't ask, I'm going to ask you. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody in our midst, a prominent person. Yes, it is what it is. I hope she's ready for us. Yes. First, before I bring her here, let me just tell you, who is this facilitator who is going to be talking to us about the role of security in the maritime industry. All right. Before May 2024, she was the head corporate and admin, AB Offshore Marine Services. She joined the services AB Offshore Marine Services in 2014 and grew through the ranks to get to the position in the organization. Bilikisu comes to this position with the growing right experience in the industry. Unsalutable experience covers the commercial, operation support, managerial, executive role in different business units in the organization, in the maritime value chain. In her growing meticulous career to this position, she has served AB Offshore in different capacity at various times. The executive assistant to the managing director, human resources, coordinator from the November 2014 to May 2017, head business development, May 2017 to February 2019, acting team lead, operation support from August 2022 to October 2023, just to mention a few. Other organizations she has worked with during her career, spanning over 15 years, include OCX Group, UK Limited as a stock auditor, Hibiscus UK Limited as an accountant assistant, and Index Investment Advisor Limited as a business manager between the year 2010 and 2013, sorry to say. Bilikisu is a motivator of a team and individual performance. She achieved this through recognition, mentorship, and development that diversifies skills and competence. She has uncommon flair for monitoring younger professionals, just like you. As a seasoned professional, Bilikisu is a registered and active member of some professional bodies, field of which are the Nigeria Institute of Management, NIM, Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, CIPM. She is happily married and blessed with children. In her leisure, Bilikisu Lawal-Akinbola enjoyed music, reading, and travel. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of your time, can you put your hands together as I welcome Bilikisu Lawal-Akinbola, the Director of Operation, AA Secure Platform. Keep clapping. And the topic, make sure you're ready. She's going to be talking with us the role of security in the maritime industry. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
You're ready.
Thank you very much. And a very beautiful good morning to everyone seated here today. I hope you are ready for this. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. That's better. My name is Bilikisu Lawal, as he was mentioned, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for AA Secure. We'll be discussing shortly about the role of security in maritime industry. But before I go ahead, I would like to find out, we'll have young minds here, I would like to find out if anyone would like to be a maritime security expert, either working with the government or as a private maritime security expert just like me, working with the government, maybe like the Nigerian Navy, Maritime Police, anyone interested, that's good. Anyway, I think as we talk through this presentation in the next 15 minutes, we'll be delving into key aspects of maritime security in the industry. First and foremost, what do we understand by maritime security? Can anyone, maritime security, thank you. The microphone, please. Okay, just speak up. Okay, you're audible.
Said to be safety of the vessels on the sea to prevent them from losing consignments.
Thank you very much. Please give him a very warm round of applause. Thank you very much. Here I said that maritime security is about keeping our vessels and cargo safe at sea, secured at sea, in order for them not to lose either their consignment or the crew or the vessel itself. That's a beautiful explanation. During this presentation, we'll be looking at what maritime security is. We'll be looking at the importance of maritime security. We'll be looking at the landscape as it relates to Nigeria. We'll be looking at the core components, the technology, regulatory, like our earlier speaker said, regulation is very important. Compliance is very key when it comes to maritime. And we'll be giving some real-life case study to buttress our presentation. Maritime security as a state, it refers to maritime, we're talking about the ocean, our rivers, our sea, our coastal area. When we talk about security, is also to safeguard maritime assets, to ensure safe navigation, and prevent illicit activities. Just like Honorable Williams mentioned, we understand that we have illicit activities that happens on sea, like the piracy, we have illegal bunkering, and etc. The handlers of maritime security are, as it relates to Nigeria, are the governments. When we talk about the government, we're talking about the Nigerian Navy first and foremost. And we also have some others like the Marine Police. We have, sometimes they have joint task force, like where the Nigerian Army, the Air Force, even the police, they come together to perform exercise in order to make sure that our water are safe. We also have the PMLC, which is where I belong. Those are the private maritime logistics company who are in partnership with the Nigerian Navy to provide security in this water space. To add to it, the Nigerian Water Exclusive Economic Zone is about 200 nautical miles. You can imagine how vast that area is. In this area, Nigeria is able to explore whatever resources is within this area of water, the scope. It is then very important for us to secure this water. In this water we are talking about, we have, the minimum we have is, I won't say the minimum, but we have fish, like we all know, but inside this water we also have very, very good minerals, like the oil exploration and other minerals embedded. And like I said, the ocean is not yet fully tapped. We are all aware of the blue economy. How many of us have heard about the blue economy? I'm sure most of us, thank you very much, have heard about the blue economy. It's just to make sure that we explore maximally the resources of the ocean. So the role of maritime security is controlling the embarkation onto vessel, ports of people, baggage and cargo, monitoring restricted areas, including maritime security zone, providing security service including patrol, supervising cargo and ship stores. The importance of maritime security, like I said earlier, global trade dependency. Over 80% of our trades, or over 80% of the global trade is transported by sea. Why did I say that? We have trade coming in from Russia to Nigeria. We have importation from or exportation from Nigeria to the UK. We have consignment coming in from the US to other parts of the world. And this is just to mention a few. So for global dependency and also for economic and environmental impact, we need a secure operation to reduce the trade, to reduce risks to trade assets and the environment. Also, one of the importance of maritime security is to ensure safety and operational integrity, protecting vessel, ports, crew, enhance business continuity. Can you imagine a situation whereby probably you're going to a neighbor's house and you're aware that, okay, take for example, I'm traveling from, maybe from south or north, sorry, maybe from south to the east. I'm sure some of us would say, oh, I can't go by road because the security is in question. So imagine you're a vessel owner bringing your goods from whatever, from any part of the world to Nigeria, and you feel threatened by the security aspects of Nigeria. Maybe their water is not well safe. I'm sure nobody will want to come to Nigeria to bring their goods because at the end of the day, they feel very, very unsafe. So the importance of maritime security can be said that it improves the global trade dependency, is good for operational integrity and also for economic impacts. Note that maritime security is not just about safety, but also about economic stability and sustainable operation. The threat landscape in maritime operation. We have the traditional threats. This threat has been there from word go. When I talk about traditional threats, I'm talking about the piracy and armed robbery, smuggling and illicit trafficking. You know that from word go, like probably before even Nigeria became independent, we've had human trafficking, maybe for slavery or whatever it is. We've had them move people from maybe Africa to Europe. These are actually criminal acts, and that is why maritime security is very important. Now, with the emergence of technology, we have cyber attack, targeting navigation and logistics system. We have insider threats. They said your weakest link sometimes could be among your team. And that is what this refers to, insider threats and vulnerability in security protocols. Take for example, there is this regarding inside threats. Imagine sending out an email and your email is being intercepted by an outsider. I'll give a real life case study of a maritime company whereby after the job was completed and they sent an invoice of maybe they sent an invoice of about $110,000 after job was completed. Unknown to them, the system was intercepted by attackers and they didn't realize that they were conversing with an hacker. And unfortunately, after sending the invoice, they got a message saying that, oh, we've changed our account number. Please send it to XYZ account. And unfortunately for them, they did that. And to date, that money went haywire. So these are examples of modern threats. We also have the geopolitical tension, regional conflicts in shipping lanes. A recent example is the Ukraine and Russia war, which has also impacted, which initially impacted on the way ships move through that routes. Can I expand this thing? This is a real life incident as well. This happened in the Gulf of Guinea around Sao Tome and Principe, which I think one crew member was injured, a crew member was missing. All other crew and master are accounted for at that point of this report. The vessel was not under the command of the master. This happened 30th of May, that was just last week ago. So the threat is real, and so therefore security needs to be put in place. The core component of maritime security, if we are able to tackle the physical, the technological, the regulatory framework, and the human elements, I'm sure we can be sure that our security outfit, if not 100%, but at least well above 90%. When I mentioned the physical security measure, this is just maybe during the access, when people are moving in and out of the port, access control, you check them physically to ensure that they have the right reason to be at the port and they have the requisite authorization to be at the port. We also have technology solution. This is the automatic identification system, which requires that all vessels they have a special identification system whereby they can be easily monitored, they can be tracked. We also have the surveillance drone, satellite monitoring and sensors network, whereby instead of human being there, you can also deploy this to ensure security. We also have the regulatory framework, that's the ISPS code and the IMO, which they've given a minimum standard which vessels are supposed to have to ensure that security is not a thing of concern. We have the national and regional maritime regulations from our big brother. We have the Nigerian Navy, we have from NIMASA and the likes as it relates to Nigeria. Then we also have the human elements, that's crew training and robust emergency protocol. They give anti-piracy drills on board. They ensure that your crew are well trained to ensure that safety is always in place. Responsibility of a maritime security leader or a team lead or whoever is assigned at the moment or at that particular time, at a particular point in time, is to ensure that risk assessments and mitigation are always a top priority. They should conduct regular security audits and threat assessments. They should also be able to manage crises. They should develop and manage responsible protocols for incidents. They should be able to coordinate and collaborate. Yes, the Nigerian Navy does much of this collaboration, and that's why they have the private maritime security companies at their disposal. This collaboration PNLC has with the Nigerian Navy, because the ocean is so wide and security is everyone's business. They are in partnership. Nigerian Navy is in partnership with private maritime logistics company, whereby PNLC can bring in their vessel, because this equipment are quite very expensive. Imagine buying a security vessel worth about $6 million and the rest. So the Nigerian Navy cannot procure all of this to ensure safety on the sea. So they go into collaboration to manage that aspect of it. Innovation and continuous improvement, yes, that cannot be overemphasized. As new technology emerge, there is need for us to continue to improve our processes to ensure that our security are tight. Integrate emerging technology and best practices, and some of them is probably getting your ISO certification and the rest. Note, security team lead need to be strategic in managing both current and emerging threats. Am I communicating? Thank you. Emerging technology in maritime security. Yes, in order to combat some of these security challenges, there are tools that helps you in tracking your vessels real time. via satellites and AIS data transmission. I'll be able to demonstrate this to you probably if time permits at the end of this presentation. We have cybersecurity enhancements and securing digital system against cyber threats and integrating Internet of Things, predictive analytics, using data to forecast risk and optimize response strategy. We also have the use of drone and autonomous system for rapid area surveillance and emergency response. Regulatory environment and best practices. Yes, we have regulatory authorities that ensures that security are always at its prime. That is where we have our IMO guidelines and the ISPS code. We have the national and regional laws, key regulatory requirements for offshore and security operations. We have best practices, like I think I mentioned this in the previous slide, regular audits, robust training, continuous improvement cycle, collaboration, like I said, like Nigerian Navy and the PMLC. Note, compliance to regulations not only ensures security and safety, but it also builds trust with stakeholders. Case study and real-world incidents. These are one of few of real-life incidents. Here is an example of one of Africa incidents and improved security measure. The picture you're seeing above there were pirates that were caught by the Indian Navy commandos. They were captured at the east coast of Somalia, sometime 29 January 2024. And below is a cyber attack on shipping system. Example of recent cyber breaches are highlighting the need for advanced system. And research or study has shown that websites can easily be attacked, and mind you, when these people attack your website or your internal emailing system, of course, logistics will be disrupted. Consider how port XYZ after the lesson learned is considering how port XYZ after enhancing its physical security and digital monitoring system reduced unauthorized access by 25%, or how pumping ABC integrated surveillance and predictive analytics led to a 15% improvement in operational efficiency by preempting potential security breaches before they escalated. Future trends and challenges, well, the evolving threats, increased focus on cyber threats and integrated security risks, adaptability, that's the need for agile strategy in a rapidly changing threat environment, especially with this our AIs that can easily predict other people's movements, even though you don't even want them to know your movements. The AI these days, they can tell, and they can even reveal to some extent some security details about vessel movements and the likes. Investment in innovation, yes, there's growing importance of AI, machines learning, and predictive analytics. Technology and collaboration can shape a more secure future for the maritime industry. Conclusively, we say that maritime security is not only central to safeguarding global trade, but also critical to ensuring safe and efficient vessel operations. The integration of advanced technologies, robust regulatory frameworks, and proactive leadership is key to maintaining and enhancing our security posture. On a final thought, commitment to continuous improvement and innovation paves the way for sustainable operations. Thank you very much. So, as much as possible to be brief. The first question I have here is, what challenges do you face as a person in the maritime security industry? Well, all jobs are risky, even teaching is risky. Um, I won't say there are no challenges, like it's a male-dominated industry. However, the female have their voices. As long as you are in compliance, I don't think there's much challenges. All you need to do is to get your documentation right. I hope that answers your question. Now, what kind of opportunities are present in this sector of maritime business? Well, there are a lot of opportunities. Like I mentioned, it's about maritime security. You could delve into the Nigerian Navy. You could come into private maritime logistics, and there you work with, I tell you, you work with IOCs, international oil companies, you work with foreign companies, you work with local companies as well. Like security is every man's business. Security is everybody's business. So there are a lot of opportunities ranging from government work to private work. You can own a vessel. You can own a security vessel and you manage it yourself. So there are a lot of opportunities there. On what condition can a maritime area be restricted aside from conflict? Well, aside from maritime conflicts, it will take me back to the first question I answered. You just need to be in compliance. Once you're in compliance, probably you need a certain document to be in a certain maritime domain. So yes, once you have your documents intact, then I don't think any maritime area is restricted for anybody. But mind you can't just go into the ocean to fish if you don't have the required license. So yes, you need to be in compliance with the regulation. What is the full meaning of PMLSC? Then how risky is the job? PMLC means Private Maritime Logistics Security Company. And how risky is the job? I think I've answered this question before. How can one be a part or come into the maritime security sector? The maritime security sector is a very broad sector. To go into, it's a very broad sector. It's either you want to be a navigational officer or you want to be an engine room, a deck officer or an engine room officer. You go to Oron, or you want to go through NDA for Nigerian Navy. And aside that, we also have institutes that offered courses that you can actually convert to become a maritime expert. PMS, okay, I think I've answered this. As a person, what threats do you face in maritime operation? I think I've answered that. Thank you very much.
Question. This mic is just is a guy. You can just.
Okay, I don't want to add to
We have other.
the last question on what are the qualification or criteria for you to be in the security system. You know, in the maritime we have what we call ISPS. It's a security course that if you want to go in, you have to get that course. We call it ISPS. We also have SSO. My captains, am I right? So those are the qualifications that you need to have. Even for our seafarers that are on the vessel, now it's compulsory that before you go on the vessel, you need to have your ISPS course. If you are senior captains like this one, they are senior captains on the vessel, but they are pilots, you must have your SSO. You understand? So those are the qualifications that you need to go. And it's just a short course, 2 days, 3 days. Then from there with your your qualification in the maritime industry, you can also be like Madam Bilikisu. Thank you.